Good now, revolutionaries, and welcome to the Rise Up Morning Show.
The Rise Up Morning Show.
Well, as Alex and I were talking about during our backstager, it is the story of our space that Argentina has followed the Central African Republic. It's like if Central African Republic and the Donald Trump meme token had a love child, it would be this Argentina token. And obviously, we have to start by saying, for people who played around, we are so sorry, but my God, anybody who's watching a country launch a meme coin, this is what you should expect. Alex, what happened, man?
Well, what it appears to be is that a meme coin was created called Libra, and it ended up getting traction and promotion from the Argentinian president Milei. And the idea that was pushed was that this was going to be used to pay down country debt and support small business and all this bullshit. As is the state of current trench warfare in the meme coin casino. And more than ever, I would say, seriously, do not try. The game has always been rigged against people trying to just like pick a couple winners and like gamble on the memes. But all of the evidence is just coming out now about how rigged it is, how you have almost no chance. And the only option you have is to be one of these insiders. And just that's all that it is. This is just
So you're telling me there's a
tokenized.
chance?
No, Evan, I swear to God, there's no chance. Okay, you have no chance. I don't know if anyone is familiar with CoffeeZilla or familiar with his methods or his content. I've been following him for years. He is excellent. He is like YouTube's Zach XBT, although what he doesn't do as much like hardcore on-chain sleuthing the way that Zach does. He's more, running cover. He's more like an investigative journalist that isn't just strictly a blockchain analyst. I don't know what his skill set is as far as like on-chain analytics goes. I know that he's capable of finding information and data and looking up reports and all this kind of stuff and putting together a really good story. But he's a lot more like, I don't want to say entertainer, but he's an investigative journalist. That's what he does, but mostly about crypto and scams, mostly scams. So anyway, he got an interview with this guy, Hayden, who I was unfamiliar with, probably because I'm not in the trenches, as they say. I'm not habitually losing every penny that I have to a bunch of insiders who are perfectly rigging multiple games to steal my money. And the interview was wild. There was a bunch of watch parties on Twitter last night. There was like a waiting room of a space with Charles Hoskinson like chilling in it while people were waiting for the video to post. Amy texted me last night, was just like, "Hey, I'm on stage with Charles in this watch party. you should come hang out."
Side note, who would agree? We've said this before on the show. Who agrees to do an interview with CoffeeZilla when they know full well what's about to happen? And there's even a shred of possibility that dude is going to be like, "Bro, you're a scammer."
I think there's
Who does that?
I think there's two answers to that question. One, someone who's aware and is currently sitting and planning on staying in a non-extradition country. Or two, a complete and utter moron who truly does not think that they're doing anything wrong.
I mean,
and this guy, so Hayden basically admitted to a whole bunch of the number of times that I've seen, well, this clip has been replayed 100 times. Put it on the screen here.
Okay, great.
If this is Coffee.
You guys are on a first name basis?
Yeah. If you're able to get him to do this, and the thing that's being said, right, that prompted this straight to jail, mind blown moment is this guy Hayden admitting that not only did he snipe Libra, but that it's acceptable and actually the right thing to do for people who launch meme coins to snipe the supply of the meme that they just launched, because that prevents other snipers from sniping it. And it's very much like this, well, if I steal money from people, then at least thieves don't steal the money from people. So I'm really just out here being altruistic as I scam people by making them think that they have any semblance of a chance to pull money out of this thing. So personally, I'm very grateful for how the Argentina thing went, because it was so unbelievably bad that finally more people on Twitter, I'm looking at you fucking crypto Twitter, finally people are starting to like wake up and be like, wait a second, guys, maybe this isn't what we should be focusing all of our coverage on. Maybe we should talk about anything else in the Web3 industry besides just trying to slog through the trenches and get meme wins. Because here's the position that Web3 is in right now. It's divided up into several categories. There are people building things who get no attention, no coverage, and are being and have their feet just basically shoved into the fire to prove that every single piece of everything that they're doing is perfectly legit, above board, transparent, open source, flawless, couldn't possibly be exploited, nothing wrong with it, fully baked out, 100% done, developed, fully kitted and produced, packaged, delivered product. And the only people that pay attention to them are people trying to find problems with it. No users, nothing else, maybe a few VCs like kind of expanding and broadening their horizons. That's the good shit being built. Then you've got this. Then you've got just straight degenerate trench warfare being perpetrated by straight criminals who are just repeatedly hosing the same couple thousand people in an endless loop. And these people just repeatedly get the pass. Like all of these fucking analysts on Twitter, all these content creators on Twitter who just like, and I'm very aware that we're streaming there right now, but I'm like pretty angry at the state of crypto Twitter. It's just getting so bad so you have all these people who like tout themselves as being the content creators, the journalists, the people who cover this industry, the people who are like shining a light on the dark corner, the people who are onboarding the masses, the people who are supporting builders and whatever. And these people do two things. One, they gamble like degenerates, lose their money and complain about it and say, how did crypto get to this? While it's the only thing they pay any real attention to. And then they talk shit about actual companies and builders trying to do something that maybe didn't go perfectly. Maybe it didn't go great. Maybe the airdrop wasn't that good. Maybe the TGE should have been timed differently. Maybe messaging wasn't fantastic. Maybe the product could be better. Whatever. And then they also cut up all of those posts where they talk shit about those projects, laud the degenerate trench warfare stuff, and then they just whine about the state of crypto and how alt season is decimated and how these meme coins are ruining everything and how we just need to get back to real utility and the surge to real utility is going to be great. It makes me fucking sick to watch and listen and read this stuff because you people know better. And you're also the ones covering the industry and you're opting to not cover the good stuff. You're opting to treat it the way that you're treating. You're opting to drag it through the mud and then you're blown away when this is the optic that people get when they look at crypto and when they look at Web3. And then anyone tweets about anything other than it, it's just like, then Evan, the number of times I've seen a tweet from someone who's like, why don't we just support real builders, followed by them not supporting any real builders is like every day. It's just engagement farming bullshit. It's ridiculous. So like viewers, stop giving these people like any engagement. It's someone who's just like posting vague platitudes about how they want the industry to be better and then going right back into the trenches and whining about how they didn't get to snipe that early meme coin or whatever. Those are not good creators to follow. Tell them to do a better job and then move on. Because it's pathetic. It's insane. So I'm glad that this happened because everyone who got hosed on Argentina's meme coin deserved to get hosed. It was insider traded out the ass. It was round tripped by all of these big dipshits like Frank and FaZe Banks and Aiden. Like all of these people lost money on it after trying to. Aiden is now like on the brink of launching his own coin, which will definitely be rug proof. And it's like, how fucking stupid are you? how unbelievably brain dead are you to look at all of this and be like, well, now's the time for me to launch a meme coin and mine's going to be rug proof.
Though, I honestly think that that's a real sign of how bad the literacy is, because I really
agree.
think that there are people who see something like Bitcoin or Ethereum or Solana or Doge, and they think that they are the same kind of thing as the Argentina crypto or the Central Africa or the whatever, the influencer crypto.
Yeah.
I think they fundamentally misunderstand cryptocurrency to such a degree that they can look at those things and not understand what the difference is. They're, it's both digital money, it's both tokenized money, whatever. It's blockchain, right? So why wouldn't I go with the one that's backed by Mr. Beast or backed by Donald Trump instead of this one that's backed by a creator who's totally anonymous? I don't understand how that thing's worth so much. It must all just be a big lottery, right? So,
dude, we're
double
literally at
down
the
on
point
the
now where the anonymous team that's just like launching something is way more trustworthy than the large scale public figure trying to put their name on a token.
But people are instinctively inclined to know, like, trust things that they feel they can understand, like,
and that's why
a creator
I
they
scream
spend
about
time
this
with.
into the void all the time. That's why I'm this angry about it, and that's why, like, every time I see a content creator who thinks arrogantly and ignorantly that they can be the difference, you just want to, like, punch them in the face.
Yeah.
and just like, how can you be this delusional? How can you be this stupid?
But I think it goes to show you that even the people who work here, especially the people who like work in broadcasting and stuff, I would say for the folks back home, something Alex and I hear often all the time about, like, just, we're not some genius guys, we didn't make the blockchain or anything, but we hear it a lot from even our colleagues that we have a lot of knowledge about how this stuff works, like we weren't taught this in school kind of stuff. I think most people fumble their way around the space. Amy was saying this kind of to us, like, she's a real earned her knowledge kind of gal. But she had said, there's a lot of stuff that you learn. I don't remember how she phrased it. If it was the wrong way or the hard way, but you really do have to figure out yourself. And even then, once you get to a place where you feel competent enough to navigate the industry, there's this whole other sort of often sectors of knowledge that you don't have, but that are really pretty foundational if you want to be like a level 1 crypto user, somebody who's like safe, confident, not going to get duped by scams and schemes. And I am realizing, I think, to the extent to which that pervades not just like the unwashed masses, so to speak, people who are new here and deserve our hospitality, but people who work here every day and post about it. Like, the literacy is really bad. And I don't know how to amplify somebody like you except to give us a show, and let people see we know what we're talking about, or our guests and friends are helpful. But it's like a one at a time kind of thing. Teach them and reach them.
It'll come out eventually, because eventually everyone's going to have no money. They already don't. That's what this is.
They never had any money. That's why they're here. They're like, crypto's going to make me money.
No, I don't mean people watching this show right now. I mean content creators who think that they're like crushing it. People who are boasting about how much money they've made this cycle, who just round trip all of it to zero by thinking that they were going to out insider a bunch of insiders on these memes. Like, just watching these people lose is like my love language now. You've been gloating about how great you are at playing the cycle, and then you just got hosed on the most obvious insider play of all time. So, but the problem is that this cycle, like, losing in a meme coin begets losing more in another meme coin, because nothing has the potential to make all of the money you just lost in 10 seconds back in 10 seconds, like winning at a meme, right? Right. So of course it makes sense that once you're underwater because you screwed up and bought one meme and fumbled that one, and then you did another one and another one and another one, is that just like locks you into this idea of like desperately trying to meme yourself back to glory. And if you found yourself now sitting in a position where like, all I need to do is get my original back, you are a gambling addict who refuses to get up from the table, even though you're hemorrhaging money and you're underwater. Like you are not an investor. You're not a degen, like, slogging it in the trenches. You're a gambling addict. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. And I think that it needed something as aggressively, blatantly criminal as this. This guy admitted that he is currently holding $100 million essentially hostage for leverage over the Argentinian
So wait,
president.
also I forgot to ask, like, wait a second, what are the specific details of what happened in the Argentina? So
It was just
Javier Milei,
insider.
the token, it already existed. It happened
Yes.
to be called Libra. These guys probably architected and designed it with the intent of like poaching Milei, building confidence with him, and that's I imagine what they were after.
Milei
Yeah?
is not known for being like a stand-up guy. So
No, but what I mean to say is, like, it's not coincidental that they launched a token called Libra instead of like Pepe's, wife.
Oh, yeah, no.
You know what I
no,
mean?
no,
Like
no.
that
Of
was
course
the
not.
target the whole
Yes.
time. Okay.
100%. Yeah. And they were involved apparently from the very beginning. It was immediately promoted. This thing rugged like a day in. They don't make it very far. That's the other thing. Like, used to be able to like hold a meme and it would do its thing and then crater and then it would come back and then it would surge. And it was like something that you could hold for a long time. But now there's so many of them. The attention span is so short that they are all going to do the same thing. Mark my words. Okay. And stop falling for this. Please, for the love of God. They sit there and it takes however long it takes for them to pump. Sometimes it's immediate, depending on the visibility of the launch, and sometimes it takes a little bit. So they're and then they explode, and then everyone takes their money and they go straight down. This happens in like a day, and then it will never come back. Never, ever, ever, ever will it come back to recapture this.
Alex in the audience says only the third failed coin with Libra in the name.
It's true. Actually, that was one of the things my dad asked me. He was like, that doesn't seem like an accident, just like some name recognition and like something. And then, of course, the idea of liberation and whatever. But
Yeah.
anyway, so the thing launched. It gets immediately promoted by the president, who is now both investigating the crime that he participated in to save face, I guess, and also facing impeachment charges. So see how that goes for fraud, because obviously fraud.
I want to answer this question. Yes, but all these coins have an SEC license from somewhere.
No.
Whether or not they were registered as securities with the SEC, the fact that somebody, first of all, the SEC would never grant a token like this a license that was linked to all these serial ruggers. At least we would think not, given some of the decisions they've made in the past.
Yeah, who knows?
Nobody holds your bets. But if you have an SEC license, that doesn't make it legal for you to do crime. This is insider trading. This is market manipulation. This is like conspiracy. What's so funny? What'd we get?
Just you. Having
Just
an
me?
SEC license doesn't make you able to do crime.
Yeah, it's not like a get out of jail free, do whatever crime you want card. And
Although crime
honestly,
is legal now. It's crime season, baby.
It's crime season, which means hopefully jail season is coming. I saw a tweet that said jail season is next. But it also is really hard to get licensed as a security. It is so easy to, if you know what you're doing, spin up a token. That's easy.
Mm-hmm.
That's a couple of bucks and a couple of clicks. Got your token. Then the slightly harder part than that is coordinate with your ring of insiders to make this the token that people are paying attention to. Slightly harder, still not terribly difficult. And then easiest is probably share the contract address with friends, put it in some sort of sniper bot, and then when the contract launches, get tokens as cheap as they'll ever be until it's rugged. And then you pull the liquidity. You, the person with the keys to the contract, or you get all your friends to dump their tokens at the same time. After everybody's bought in, after everybody's tweeted about it, talked about it. The SEC license would be the hardest part of that. In terms of like, you got to file some paperwork, you got to wait a long time, you might have to pay a fee, you might have to disclose your identity, and everybody knows you're a serial rugger. So that's not going to work out very well for you. They don't need to bother with that. They don't need to bother with that. It adds absolutely nothing but time to the scheme. And in a world where the SEC doesn't seem that eager to just like knock on the door of every person who's launched a meme token, like why would they even bother? Why would they establish a closer relationship with the SEC that might help them track them down if ever they choose to? No. The answer is just, I can launch a token, I'm going to do it, then I'm going to rug you. So
yeah,
that is just so sad.
I encourage people to watch the interview. I need to
With
finish it.
CoffeeZilla is joining us.
CoffeeZilla, yeah. I'll put it in Discord. It's worth it. I mean, just to see the state of this kind of stuff and hopefully use this as the impetus to stop. And then honestly, like the biggest and best thing that you can do if you're watching this and this makes you angry is to support content that covers the stuff that you actually care about, or the things that you like. The number of people who are like in Web3 who give their attention and their engagement to the crappy content that is like shilling tokens or teaching no one anything, but then also out of the other side of their mouth, like wishes that the space would improve. I am sorry, but you are part of the problem. Creators have a responsibility to create better things, but viewers also have a responsibility to watch better things and to give your attention and your engagement to things that are worthwhile, that you would actually like to see continue and grow and be given more attention.
The grass isn't green on the other side. It's green where you water it.
Yeah!
Amen.
Mike, are you going to ETH Denver? Anybody in our audience, are you going to ETH Denver? Are you traveling this conference season? I saw Solom, our good friend, said, I'm thinking about going to Bitcoin in Las Vegas this April. And I said, do it. I'll tell you what, one of the best things about being in crypto is when you meet another person who's excited about it and you get to talk to them in person and you just get it. It's like a core moment of your development. It's like your first kiss. It's real special, and I recommend everybody does it. We're going to be in Denver for ETH Denver. I'll be there the 23rd, and then Alex is coming in the 25th. I think Will's getting in that day too, and Mac Lorden also. And we'll be there till just the very start of March, and then we're getting out of town. So let us know if you'll be around. Definitely find a reason to go hang out with your crypto friends in real life and talk about it. And one of the other reasons I bring it up and mention Mike specifically is because Mike said less memes, more apps. I think there are going to be a ton of great apps to discover there, and awesome people building cool stuff, including like right on the ground. One of the best parts about ETH Denver specifically is it has tons of focus on, like, while we're there at the conference, let's build something. Many people, some of whom have just made a team like for this occasion, get together to build a product, like doing something cool. And some of the best names in our space, every layer one blockchain, you know, every DeFi protocol is there, usually like putting up a little bit of money to let a panel of judges or an audience decide which of these things that just got built this week should win a grant. It is the exact kind of energy we want in a space where we're trying to like build the next era of the internet. So check it out and let us know if there's something that's going to be there that you want us to see. We're going to be pulled in a million different directions, certainly, but I think it's going to be a great time. ETH Denver is my favorite conference. I saw a thread. This is the last thing I'll say about it. I saw a thread of people who the prompt was, what's your favorite crypto conference? And what I loved about the thread was that almost everybody had a different answer in the comments. And a lot of them were conferences that like I didn't know. Our friend Evan McMullen was like, you know, ETH Berlin is the best. Somebody else said DevCon is the best. Somebody else said hasn't been a good conference since Bitcoin 2017 or something like that. And I really love that there is so much diversity of thought and experience in the crypto space that chances are, whoever you are, whatever your experience is, whatever you're passionate about, there is somebody who lives and looks and thinks like you, but also so many people who live and look and think differently than you, who still want to be your friend because you have this thing in common. So that's my message about it. I'm bullish on that. If anything can beat like the meme frenzy, it's probably not going to be three guys who all wear the same glasses and talk on microphones as much as it'll be, you know, all of us coming together. Did you see? I think CoffeeZilla wears the same glasses. They're not clear, but I'm pretty sure I have that same color frames in my medicine chest. What's up with that look?
For the record, Consensus is the best conference.
But seriously, did we all just wake up one day? Is it a clever marketing campaign for like white guys with beards to get that pair of glasses?
You know what's funny is that I didn't consult the rest of the bearded white guys when I bought these. I was just sitting here thinking that I had the frames that I flew with, all of my standard issue ones when I was enlisted, and they were really thin and like light metal.
Yeah.
frames, and they were great. They were ideal for flight because you have a better sight picture. They're bigger lenses, and your view is not as obstructed. And
Okay.
I was just like, I just want something like that. And I saw these, and I was like, oh, clear, that would be even better because it would be even less like intrusive in my sight picture looking through them all the time, which is true. And as soon as I was like, oh yeah, this is it forever. And then I just like started seeing them everywhere. What's that? There's that phenomenon,
Yeah, yeah, like the Volkswagen effect.
Yeah, and after that, I was like, damn it. But that was like the sum total of my thought process when selecting these frames.
Alex, what do you think the largest crypto conference is? Solomast.
Token 2049, probably.
By like attendance?
Probably.
I don't know, man.
I think that, well, okay. It also depends because
they all claim to be the largest. The largest Bitcoin event or the largest
Bitcoin
EVM
Miami
event or whatever.
Yeah, it's not a fair thing because so many things are like not like if you're interested in altcoins, you don't go to a Bitcoin conference because the only vendors and the only companies there are like custody solutions and mining rigs, and like corporate insurance. It's not ideal. If you want altcoin stuff, you want to go to Token, you want to go to Consensus, you want to go to
ETH Denver's got altcoin stuff, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah, but EVM altcoin stuff.
I don't think so. I think there's lots of stuff there that's not just EVM. Yeah, Solana's going to be there, dude.
Yeah, Solana, you got to be like in the trench coat handing out NFTs from in the back.
No, man, they're having a whole day. They're having like a Solana summit there. I saw on Luma, 800,000, something like that. People are registered for that event alone.
Is it a sponsored event or is it just like a Solana's crashing the party event?
Well, it's not sponsored by ETH Denver. Doesn't do sponsorship. It's like an official side event of ETH Denver. It's like Solana is like we're having people there. All right. But I also think anybody can do an official side event. I don't think it's like a It's pretty official, unofficial. But yeah, it's multi-chain. And Token 2049, I think you're right, is the biggest. By numbers of attendees. But I bet some others are close. And is Consensus in the United States this year, or am I remembering correctly? It's in Toronto.
It's in Toronto. But there's also like Consensus Hong Kong is like next week. They have Consensus hubs like around the world, but the big one is usually it's been in Austin, Texas for the last how many years, and this year it's in Toronto. That's a great conference. I've been to a lot of conferences. That's a great conference because everything is there. The trade floor is so full of stuff. All of your big favorite L1s are there. Even if you just want to show up and vibe with a bunch of other underwater maxis, you can go do that with any major chain. The speakers list is always so densely populated. There's so many parties. Consensus is good. That's a good one.
Yeah, and any conference is good. Like if you just go and hang out where crypto people are, you're probably going to have a great time. I hesitate to awaken the ire of our new friends in the Pulse community, but I would say probably even if there was a Pulse Chain conference, I would think about going. Probably for different reasons, but
they don't meet in public.
It's all clandestine.
I've never seen a Pulse event in public. I've never seen one.
No, and I've never talked to anyone in person about Pulse, but I have seen a lot of Pulse stickers and hex stickers on the back of street signs and urinals. So, yeah, a lot of them. Surprisingly. Just,
So, anyway, we can move on. I think we've sufficiently beat that horse enough. But like I said, watch the interview and then help us clean up crypto Twitter. I'm continuing to void post over there with little to no effect. But as I said the other day, I just want it on the record somewhere that the whole time everyone was like trying desperately to figure out how to fix the industry while simultaneously giving no coverage to all of the things trying to fix the industry is at an all-time high. And we need to help dismantle that. So that's where you can go. This is of course very different audiences, so crypto Twitter has really, if you're like new to Twitter or new to crypto and trying to learn and like get complex ideas broken down, you're not on Twitter. There's almost nothing for you there. I won't say nothing, but there's almost nothing for you there. If
Yeah,
you like
Alex,
tap into crypto and you build a For You feed of crypto stuff, you're just going to be like, well, this is awful. I don't want to be here. And it makes me want to quit every day.
Yeah.
Nothing
Alex,
makes me more
the other
bearish
Alex
than
in the comments said Blue Sky is the place to go. It seems like somebody's everywhere. People are on Nostr, people are on Blue Sky, people are on Warpcast, people are just looking for somewhere to land. And I have no idea why everybody loves those like 150 characters of text at a time based apps. I don't get it. I just don't get it.
I don't get it either. I like it for specific things. I wish that the feed was like not so heavily manipulated. I would agree with Mac. Twitter is mostly people selling. It's really just meant for like DevRel and BizDev. Like that's all it is. It's just like marketing managers
Selling
meeting
and
other marketing
simping
managers.
is what I feel like. Like I feel like there's a lot of like if you hit escape velocity and you're like a noteworthy person whose tweets consistently get like 10 likes and you have 100,000 followers or something like that, then I feel like your comments are full of people who are like just I don't know. I don't know. It's interesting. There is a low correlation, it seems like, on social media generally of like how many followers you have and how worth following you are. But there's a high correlation between, you know, like how many followers you have and how engaged with your particular brand of thought the most dedicated followers are. Like I absolutely hope, I don't know. I hate it. I really hate being inside an echo chamber like that. But
oh, it's so bad.
Kind of what it is. For anybody asking, like Tech CEO, what's going on, brother? Will is still feeling a little under the weather. He's taking his time to get some extra sleep, extra recovery, extra soup, but he is feeling much better and he will be back soon. So if you're only on the show for Will, I'm so sorry. You got to wait a little bit longer. However, if you're seeing us for the first time or you're wondering what the heck is the show, Dolphins in the chat for Will. This is our fake radio show. It's called the Rise Up Morning Show. Alex and I have been getting together for the last 2 years, and for the last year, we've been doing it with Will to share helpful news, commentary, answers to your crypto questions, because let's face it, learning about crypto can be like drinking from a fire hose. It is impossible to find people to answer your questions, and you don't even know which questions to ask. Not everyone on social media is your teacher. The loudest voices are not the most helpful. And so we're trying to create a space where anybody at any level of experience can come and ask a question, can share what they know, learn, grow, and we say, rise up together. Can you believe this, Alex? I haven't had the commercial up the whole time. If you are interested in spending more time with us, we're here 7 a.m. Central Standard Time, Monday through Thursday. We're here after dark on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. for expert guest interviews with our friends and modeling how to do your own crypto research. And of course, the show lives 24/7 in the totally free Rise Up Discord server at discord.gg/rise up. That's the official home of the show, along with the riseupmorningshow.com. You can find so many links to great resources there. The classes we've taught, the one-on-one coaching we offer, the memberships that make it all cheaper and get you a bunch of stuff for free. And of course, the morning show mug. I do have to say, if you are interested in trying the community or a premium membership, seeing the kind of benefits and discounts you get a 7-day free trial to that. You can cancel anytime, but the price is going up February 21st. Apparently, you know, launching your own meme coin isn't a very successful venture, so Alex had to do something else for money. So we're doing that. We have a really tight-knit community of deeply engaged learners at those levels, and it's a wonderful place. We'd love to see you there. I often say all that's missing is you, so check those out. Alex, I'm sorry to make you small. I'm going to leave that link up on the screen again for a little bit, but we'd love to see you there. Okay. So,
all right.
Let us know what questions you have, and we'll keep it rolling. It sounds like you were going somewhere, but don't miss the fact that your mom just asked a question. The official mother of the Rise Up Morning Show.
The official crypto mom.
The mom sponsor. Hi, Linda.
Best wallet to hold USDC. Okay. It probably depends. I wouldn't say that any of them are the best. I would say it depends what chain you have your USDC on and what you want to do with it. I hold USDC in 3 places. I have some in MetaMask because MetaMask is the only wallet that I use that interacts with Avalanche. And I have some in Phantom because Phantom is the wallet that I use base
It's your favorite.
Ethereum and Solana. And then I have some in the Coinbase Smart Wallet, which is just like my kind of on-off ramp place. Although interested in messing around with Kraken's wallet because I did not even know that they had one until pretty recently. And it looks good. So I haven't done enough with it to like offer a real opinion or a real review on it yet. Exodus is not a bad wallet. I personally do not use Exodus anymore because, and for context, I've used it for years. But there's
I'm curious about this.
Exodus had this weird token minimum in order to do things, and it's just very clunky. I did not care for it, to be very honest with you. I was holding things there like for custody, and it was fine. It did the thing. And then I just remember the experience of trying to get like 2 or 3 things out of there. And not having enough gas. It doesn't withdraw gas from the thing you're trying to send. There's no option for that, which sucks. So if you're trying to like withdraw all of your... So I had a couple ERC20s that were over there that were not ETH. And I needed ETH gas. So the only option was to buy more ETH and send it over there and then lose some of it because you're not going to send 100% of it out in the gas. So you just had to you had to lose money to do it because you couldn't swap out of any of the ERC20s in Exodus without also having ETH for gas. So you couldn't do that. Also, then the minimum to send in half of those ERC20s was ludicrously high. Like one of the things I had over there was a little bit of Pepe, the original Pepe meme.
Yeah.
This a couple years ago. The minimum amount that I was able to actually like be allowed to transact with was $800 worth.
Really?
It was
on a self-custody wallet?
Yeah, it had a minimum transaction threshold. This was last year.
Of
about $800 worth of Pepe at the prices. It was a token threshold. It was not a price threshold, and that amount of tokens just happened to be worth about $800. It was so I was just like, you know what, this wallet offers me absolutely nothing that another wallet doesn't offer me, and I'm done, and I don't care. It's too clunky. I don't care. They need to do some serious reworking before I would give it another try, to be honest.
I want to weigh in on the USDC thing. I think it's really hard to find anywhere that has a better experience with USDC than Coinbase or Coinbase Wallet. And I would say the reason is because it's the cheapest on-ramp. I can get dollars from my bank account to Coinbase for free, turn them into USDC for free, and then send them to a Coinbase wallet, my self-custody wallet, as tokens on any network. But, well, any EVM network, you can send them as ETH USDC, base USDC, and now you can send them as Sol USDC in some wallets. Not everybody's wallet has that feature yet, but some of them do. And it's either free or very, very cheap. So if you want to get money on chain, and that's like what you want to do, that's, as far as I know, USDC. And that's because, as I understand it, does Coinbase directly own Circle now? Or is it just that they have been in cahoots for a long time?
It's at least cahoots. I don't know if they straight up own the whole thing, to be honest.
I think they might. I'd have to fact check it. But
it wouldn't surprise me.
They have a lot of incentives for you to use USDC on their platform, and they make it so easy that I just don't like using USDC anywhere else.
Although,
at this point,
I have to say, who's been making some pretty big strides, which allows for like feeless or dirt cheap on-ramping in other wallets, is MoonPay.
Is that right?
MoonPay's on a tear. Actually, I bought Sol-based USDC through MoonPay a couple days ago, and not only did I pay no fee, they sent me like extra. It was like a $100 turned into $100.54 of USDC on what I actually received. Super quick.
Wow.
Yeah. The only hiccup with MoonPay was the fact that USAA really didn't want to let me use my money for it.
Interesting. Bearish.
But yeah. So bullish on I have not been a constant like MoonPay user. I've been aware of it for years, but I hadn't really like used it that much because the fees.
It wasn't that good before. Yeah. The fees were high.
It was clunky. The process was not great, but I was like, wow, this is awesome. I will be using this more. So I've meant to sit down, and it's one of the many things on my gigantic to-do list.
Yeah, so if you don't have a bank account and you want to get cryptocurrency, that is an option for you. If you have a card, a debit card, a prepaid card, that kind of thing, you can use MoonPay, and apparently the fees are getting better. There are many services like that, but MoonPay. Google it, you'll find it. And then we had the question, do you recommend just to keep all cash in USDC? It's kind of like the wallet question. It really depends on what you want to do with it. I think if there is money that you want tokenized, if you want it in crypto on chain, then it makes sense, if you don't know what you want to do with it, to keep it in a stable coin, and a stable coin of your choice. But if you're just starting out, I don't think there's really a bad choice. I think you will learn pretty quickly, based on what you're interested in buying or selling, how easy it is to swap one token for another, which platforms have better rates for one token or another. Like I said about USDC on Coinbase having a $0 fee, most ways you slice it. But I don't know. I think there are a lot of really good stable coins that all have different reasons to hold them, like USDT, Tether, even though there's a lot of FUD about it. DAI is another one by Maker that is like the DeFi stable coin, but they're all mostly just fine. I would start with one of those three. I don't know if you have anything to add to that, Alex, but USDC, USDT, and DAI are all great. USDC and USDT are going to be easiest to get in the most places.
Yeah. Yeah. And Jay Anthony asks, why USDC and not USDT? I would not say unilaterally that like USDC over USDT. For me, it really depends on availability of trading pairs. And if I have the option to use USDC, like Evan said, I usually will default to that just because I have more instant and native interest earning options with it. So like Evan said, if I want to use a stable coin and I'm choosing between Tether and USDC, I'll probably use USDC because I can keep the leftovers in my Coinbase wallet and earn an easy 4%, or I can slap them in Aave and earn a little bit more APY over there. And it's very easy. Versus USDT, I don't know off the top of my head where the best and fastest interest earning play for USDT would be. I used to use Tether a lot more.
Me too.
Just because everything that had a stablecoin trading pair was with Tether first. And now with USDC being as big as they are and having a few more options, Tether needs to give me some better options. And then I would happily continue to use it. I don't have any issue with it. I'm definitely not one of those people, and neither is Evan. One of those people that thinks like Tether's on its way out or it's about to crumble. You know, like we've been here long enough to know that whenever anything gets like semi-dire in Twitter or in crypto, someone on Twitter will undoubtedly start yelling about how Tether is not very open source and it's going to crumble and fall. And
then Bitcoin's going to collapse.
Yeah, we're at the Tether FUD part of the cycle.
Oh my God.
Which obviously, to be clear, like, is it possible? Of course it is. Everything is possible.
Yeah.
But unlikely.
Yeah, you're telling me there's a chance. Somebody, I get the sense the other Alex in chat here is a real been here a long time OG. I would be curious to know what their opinion on Tether is, or how many times they thought have heard that Tether was about to crumble. Because it's probably a lot. Okay, hang on, we're catching up. By the way, Amsfar, thank you for the fact check. Coinbase only has an equity stake in Circle. There's a point for Amsfar in the chat. So they're a part owner. That's what that means. Good to know. RLUSD is great. We're waiting to see more about how people use it. For folks who don't know, that's the Ripple network stablecoin on the XRP ledger. I haven't seen a ton of stats about it. I don't use it personally, but I would be willing to bet they've built a great product. Like they've got to. You would certainly think. You okay?
Scrolling. Yeah.
Oh, I was like, I thought that was like a pregnant pause, like you were going to say something.
Oh, no.
Deep. Okay, while you're scrolling, I've got one. Do the fees go up if you're using scheduled buys and decide to edit them? No. One of the great things about using an exchange versus using a wallet. Somebody asked me the other day, I like to use Coinbase, and people tell me that it's bad. Am I unsafe using Coinbase? And the answer is your solution comes with the trade-off. If you're using a centralized exchange, you are trading convenience, which you get, for freedom. which you don't. If you're using a self-custody wallet, a hot or cold wallet where you hold the private key, like a MetaMask or a Trust wallet or a Phantom wallet or a Coinbase wallet or a Ledger or a Trezor or something like that, an Arculus, a Tangent, then you are the sole custodian of that crypto. You can do anything you want with it. No terms, no conditions. However, it often is less convenient. You have to pay a gas fee every time you do anything on chain, and everything pretty much is on chain. They do that because to have it not on chain means you are relying on a custodian to keep it for you. When your stuff is in Coinbase, they give you features like limit orders that you can put in their system that are not on chain, so to speak. It's very difficult to find a way to do limit orders and buys and sells without trusting someone. So if you got to trust someone and you want to interact with a simple user interface, I think Coinbase is great for a lot of people. I think Kraken also great for a lot of people. And because they are the custodian of your crypto, that allows them to do things for you, like receive orders that they can put in their system to execute on chain when it's time. That allows you to edit those orders without a fee, without any latency. It allows them to help you transfer tokens for zero fees. You know, if you're trading a token like Pepe on the Ethereum mainnet on chain, it might cost you $5 every time you want to send it from a self-custody wallet or more. But if you send it from your Coinbase account, you buy, you sell it, you trade it, they're not going to charge you a fee because they're not doing that transaction on chain. They're just updating your balance in their ledger. So you got to trust them to do what they say they're going to do, but they give you a lot of conveniences, like you can edit your orders without a fee, or you can transfer tokens without a fee. I hope that helps. You find another one, Alex?
I was just answering some small things. There's a question that I will answer because I don't think you're reading my comments here. Would Coinbase be able to compensate holders for XRP if it hits $200? Do they hold the reserves? No, because no one has reserves to allow for that kind of a thing. But you don't have to worry because XRP is not going to hit $200 and trade there. What you need to remember is that in order for you to actually cash out, like if something were to just spontaneously do a 100x at the scale of like a top 10 crypto project just going up by 100 times, is that someone has to buy it from you in order for you to be able to sell it. And it's true that the big centralized exchanges will auto buy things from you at whatever price the market is trading at a certain point. But I can promise you, and I would bet money, that if XRP's price suddenly just somehow materialized at $200, none of the exchanges would honor it by buying that off of you. They would not be buying it. You would have to be like being matched with buyers, and no one's going to buy it at $200.
Yeah, let's drill down into that just for people who, if you can choose to buy or sell any token at any price, it's a free market. But what happens and how the price is like chosen by whatever app you use is that app, like let's say Coinbase, is constantly facilitating. It is the market maker. Every buy or sell that happens on Coinbase's platform happens, it's not like under the table. You're not going to slip a fast one past them. They are tracking every single and facilitating every single buy and sell order that happens on their platform. So they know what the price is. And there are people who say, hey, I want to sell my XRP tokens for $3. And someone else is like, I want to buy them when they hit $1.80 or whatever. You know what I mean? It's matching all these orders. Not everybody is just trading what we call spot, which is what Coinbase says is the current price on the platform. If you're trading spot, then you might buy XRP at whatever price it is now, and you're buying or selling directly with Coinbase. They got a big bucket of tokens, and you can buy them at the spot price from them. And then there are people behind the scenes who are like waiting for the price to move, and they've got what's called a limit order in. So they're waiting when the price is 5 cents below or 10 cents up to buy or sell for profit or loss or whatever strategy they're playing. If all of a sudden one person was like, you know what? XRP's worth $200. I'm selling mine at $200. They put the limit order in. I don't know why he sounds like he's eating a sandwich in the back of a cab, but that's what he sounds like. And he puts his order in. If the market decides the price of XRP is $3, that order is going to sit there and sit there and sit there. Anybody can go buy it. Nobody wants to because they can buy it for $3 over here. Okay. So there is pressure that's going to move that person's order downward to conform with the market. And similarly, if everybody had the opportunity to start listing XRP at $200 and people on the other side of the trade would take it, then all the people who decided, you know what, that's a good price for me, would just put their order on the books immediately. And that kind of sell pressure would likely drive the price down, because those people who sold it to you for $200 are probably not going to buy it back for, $210. No. They're going to wait until you get tired of hanging on to it and hanging on to it and hanging on to it and hanging on to it. And you need to sell it for 190 or 180 or 170. If $200 is not what most people in the market determine the price of that asset to be, the value of it to be, it will very shortly move to a range that those people think is more efficient. That's why memes are so volatile, because they're so speculative. Nobody has any idea what the value or price tag should be. That's why Bitcoin, comparatively, is so unvolatile, and why stocks especially are like narrow, because it's really easy to look at a company like Apple and say, what is the value of all the computers and phones in service through their customers around the world today? What's the value of the assets at their headquarters? What's the value of the people that work for the company? Like, that is really easy to quantify. So it would be really hard for any market anywhere to be like, no, guys, this is worth a lot more than you think it is. You see, if XRP went to $10, there'd probably be a lot of people selling. It would be hard for it to get higher than that, because people would just keep pushing it down. I hope that helps.
Good answer.
I know they're flying, Alex. I know they're flying. So you got one? What do you got? What do you got? Trade me jobs.
We're just arguing about the efficacy of the Doge agency as one thing. Yeah. So okay. The question is, is it doing? And this is not the crypto. This is Elon's new pet project. And whether or not it's doing a good job, and then of course the sentiment that like crypto could use more transparency. A couple thoughts. One, no, it's not doing a good job, and that's not an opinion. That's an objective fact just from reading what they are posting. I will take a quick sidebar to say, yes, QFS is absolutely a scam. Anybody telling you anything about QFS is trying to steal your money. Anyone who tells you to use QFS or sign up for their QFS wallet or send money to their QFS thing, it's a scam by a scammer. Just block them.
Yep.
So anyway, I don't think anyone in their right mind could like look at the government and be like, nope, there's no waste here. Definitely not something that we need to work on. There's waste everywhere. I was in the military for a long time. I personally watched money get wasted. So even if it was just that one department that I happened to be working in, and that was the only one, there's still waste going on. So it exists. And there should definitely be a legitimate effort to find it and stamp it out. Waste does not look the way that what Doge is finding is. So here is what government waste looks like from the point of view of somebody who worked for the government for a long time and participated in and received lots of wasteful spending. It just looks like buying too much of things that we need, having ridiculous standards and rules based on all sorts of different regulations and red tape sort of policies to overbuy things that we don't need, like in excess, and then losing them things getting stolen. The number of times that I would see us like need one bolt, for example, for an aircraft, but they only come in packages of 200. So you buy 200 of them for 200 times the price of that one little bolt. And then someone rips open the package and like puts that one bolt on the thing, and then the other 199 just go in a toolbox somewhere, and we forget we have them, and then we need another one of those bolts, and we can't find that one bag that so-and-so just ripped open and tossed in the box, so you just buy 200 more. That's the waste. And Doge is not going to find that by sifting through our social security information at the Treasury. They're going to find it by sending representatives or people from their agency into facilities that are purchasing things with taxpayer dollars at scale, and making sure and auditing what happens to all of that material, making sure that like material indexing systems are good and up to par. But that's not sexy. What's sexy is sifting through Treasury departments data and expenditures and finding things that sound bad and then publishing them on Twitter. So you're not finding any corruption by finding social programs to the Middle East that you disagree with. You're finding things you disagree with, which is okay. You can disagree with it, and we could say like, hey, why are we sending this money in aid form to this country for this purpose? That doesn't make sense. It's not fraud. It's just maybe unnecessary, and we should examine, okay, well, why? No one's ever asked the question why that I've seen. It's just ripping on social programs that they happen to not like. So take the thing, I don't know, to pick one of them. HIV's prevention screening in some country in Africa. Okay, why are we spending money on it? Is there any benefit to the United States for doing it? Why would anyone have made this decision? Okay, cool. If it turns out that there's no good reason and it doesn't make sense and we're overspending, cut it, 100%. I am in favor of cutting wasteful government spending so hard. And for those of you who are going to listen to me say this and think like, oh my God, this has nothing to do with crypto, get back to crypto. It does, because crypto depends on the economy, and the government being more efficient would probably improve the economic situation, put the country in a little bit less debt, and make people perhaps more likely to confidently spend money on things like risk-on assets like crypto. It is all connected. Anyway, there's just no evidence that Doge is doing it that way. There is a lot of evidence, because they're posting it every day, to suggest that they're just finding things that sound weird with no context and saying we need to get rid of it. It is also an objective fact that the only departments currently being targeted are the ones investigating Elon Musk. So if you think that doesn't ring and shouldn't ring any alarm bells, then I don't know what to tell you. Take USAID, for example. They receive a pretty small chunk of the budget. Is there waste there? Probably, because there's waste in every single department. But it's also an objective fact that USAID's only purpose is to improve the reach of soft power of the United States around the world. And soft power means basically buying goodwill in countries all over the place, so that if we ever need something, or if we need to establish an embassy, or our people who are stationed in that country on a military base or an embassy or some other sort of diplomatic outpost of some sort, don't get targeted for a car bombing or something like that. Or that, people see a box of medicine with a "Made in the USA" stamp on it. They feel a little bit better about this country. It's also worth noting that most of the stuff USAID buys to send over there, they buy from United States manufacturers and businesses. So the moral of the story is yes. Also, I'm not going to get into the FEMA stuff. Tech CEO, I love you dearly. You're the number one mug salesman. I would encourage you, and I would beseech you, please read something other than what Doge is posting, and ask yourself about the FEMA stuff. The FEMA stuff was unbelievably misreported and misinformed. I know, because people that I know and love and have been stationed with for years work directly with FEMA on the ground in any of those things. So that's okay. All right, we're getting to the point now where people are just gonna disagree and yell at me because, oh my God, I thought I muted you for longer. Music Man, dude, you gotta chill, man. You've just been scream posting at me for the entire live. So take a breath. Anyway,
somebody in the comments mentioned the $1,300 mugs, and I do just want to say, if you're selling mugs for $1,300 regularly, and you need a hookup for a great mug, have I got a guy you can call? The Rise Up Morning Show mug is absolutely worth however much you're willing to spend on a mug, even up to $1,300. The coffee tastes better. Your morning gets smoother when you drink it in a Morning Show mug. And if you sign up for a Premium Plus trial, you can get a mug for free. But if you're the government and you're into wasteful spending, call me. I am not above taking that mug money. I don't really want to watch another meme coin get rugged, but I would take some of that sweet contractor money for a Rise Up Morning Show mug. Elon Musk, for you it's $12.99, baby. The $1,300 discount. Also, I do want to say, I'm pretty sure, Alex, I saw a movie called Soft Power one time, and I think there was a guy named Goodwill in it. I think there was also a guy named Badwill in it. I don't remember what happened, but
I had no earthly idea what you're talking about.
Oh yeah, Soft Power. Pretty sure it was made in the 1970s. I think Goodwill had a mustache and Badwill had to lick it or something. Anyway, so my friends, welcome Welcome to the Rise Up Morning Show. If you've got a crypto question, that's what we're here for. We're glad.
Let me wrap this up just because
wrap it up with a bow.
This is always annoying. I can't make the disclaimer enough ever. And I know that it's TikTok and people jump in at different times and don't hear me give a disclaimer. They hear a sentence and they get upset about it. There is absolutely a tremendous amount of waste in the federal government. I am sure there's also fraud. There's also blatant insider trading happening with Congress. For example, the most, the last one that I saw posted, and for the record, they all do it, not just her, but Marjorie Taylor Greene bought a lot of Tesla shares right before Doge started. Just like all of the Congress people, Republicans and Democrats alike, who voted to ban TikTok, bought a lot of Meta stock right before they voted to ban TikTok. That's all that Congress does, is insider trade. And I won't say the names because you will just accuse me of lying again if you disagree with me. There are exactly 2 members of Congress in both the House of Representatives and the Senate who do not engage in stock trading. And I encourage you to go look up which 2 those are. The rest of them all do it. So there's crooks everywhere. There's fraud everywhere. There's waste everywhere. I personally participated in wasteful government spending every year that I was enlisted. Lots of other people that I know do as well. Actually, the Coast Guard used to literally, this is not a joke, the Coast Guard literally has so little money in its budget that we used to dumpster dive for Army wasteful spending and then take that because we didn't have enough to do all of our own wasteful spending ourselves. And that is absolutely true. The heavy machinery equipment that we had like in our metal shop for the helicopter hangar mostly came from Army throwaways. And they were 10, 20, 30, 40, $50,000 machines that the Army bought, and then they became 1 year old and they needed a new one, so they threw it away, and we just went and dumpster dove them. That's true. So it was not Ron Paul, by the way, just for the record, that doesn't participate in stock trading.
Man.
And no, there is no opportunity for young enlisted members of the military to suggest alterations to the military budget, unfortunately. So I would encourage you, like literally the only thing I would ever beg anyone to do is don't read the thing that you know that you agree with. Read something that you think you probably will disagree with, and then challenge yourself to continue to disagree with it. And if you find yourself just flat out saying no, and here, this applies to crypto. This is how you break out of crypto maximalism, like for a token that you are a huge fan of for whatever reason. Go find, something that disagrees with the opinion you hold. Read it. Allow yourself to feel angry as you read something or listen to something that you disagree with. This is the process of breaking out of your echo chamber. And then challenge yourself to continue to disagree with it. Take the thing that you're like, okay, you know what it is. It's you're a huge fan of Polkadot. As an investment, they can do no wrong. You love them. The tech is great. You love Substrate. You're a big Gavin Wood fan. All this sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And then, someone like me sits here and says, well, Polkadot is really failing because whatever. And immediately your blood starts to boil and you're like, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about because I disagree with him. Not because he's wrong and I can prove that he's wrong, but because I'm angry that I don't agree with what I'm hearing right now. And then you have to push. If you're incapable of pushing past that burst of anger, you're not going to make it. And I'm very sorry to say that, but until you get over that, you're just simply going to stay stuck in that position of just being upset. And so listen to the negatives, listen to the things that you disagree with, and then prove that they're wrong. Or be willing to change your mind when you've been now presented with some new information and accept that perhaps Polkadot could do a better job messaging and marketing, and perhaps they're not trying to convince or to show or to demonstrate all of the things that are being built. And maybe they are just sleeping through this whole bull market waiting for someone to just discover them on accident. Maybe that's true. So you can apply that to absolutely anything. So I'm sitting here telling you that I don't believe that Doge is actually finding waste, fraud, and abuse. I think they're finding perhaps frivolous government spending that they happen to disagree with, but they're not looking at both sides of the picture. They're just picking out social programs to foreign countries that they don't like, and they're axing that stuff. I don't respect anyone who gets into government spending and wants to like find the fraud. It doesn't start at the Pentagon, the agency and the department that has failed a more than $1 trillion audit every year for the past how many years in a row. And then, and I don't accept that you just like poked into the Pentagon and found K cups that we're overspending on and called it a day. That's bullshit. So take your crypto of choice, take whatever one that you think is the best. I do this with Solana all the time because I can feel myself getting less subjective. Like the more I see them becoming like a cultural thing, I'm like, okay, this is dangerous thinking. I need to go find, like the people who don't like it and read what they have to say about why they don't like it and then try to prove them wrong. And you should do that for everything. It's great research. That's a great like research tip as well, to like go, get out of your echo chamber, get out of your bubble and read something from someone who disagrees or hates it, even if it's bullshit, like even if it's nonsense. It does take time. Charlie, you're absolutely right. This is true, but it takes time. I'm not sure if you're talking about this exact point that I just made, but it does take time to research and fact check things. And that is why everything is the mess that it is, because it takes time. It's time people don't have because we're all stressed out and we're all struggling and we all got other things going on. And it's annoying and it's hard to parse through. And there's so much information posted out there and absolutely anybody can post anything. I don't have to check in with someone before I get up on this soapbox and pontificate to people on the internet every day. Unfortunately, that's the responsibility of the person watching me, to care about the information that they're intaking and to fact check me. I do have a responsibility to post good stuff, but you can't just blanket trust me without at least doing some sort of digging. That was
fact check yourself, brother.
Perfect gift. It was just raining. It was just raining. I like that.
Do you feel well met? I want you to get it out. I want you to let it go. It's an important point.
Listen, and Evan, I love you and appreciate you for this, because I texted Evan over the weekend that I was like getting really agitated reading all of the stuff on crypto Twitter, just about like how sad people are, how mad everyone is at the state of the industry and how upset we are at the state of crypto, and then doing nothing to fix it. And I'm like, okay, guess we'll do it. So I appreciate you letting me ramble for so long, because I have bogarted this whole thing. But I'm telling you guys, if I were to impart nothing else on anyone other than please be objective and don't only read things that you agree with. And for context, to show you that my money is where my mouth is, every piece of political content that I have watched or read or spent time ruminating on and thinking about in the last couple months has been stuff posted by people that I do not agree with. And it is really hard to listen to.
We can tell.
Yeah, it's really hard. I can feel it. Like the second I start the video that I know I already disagree with, because I've seen this person talk before and I know we don't agree on things, I can like feel it. I'm like, oh God, this is going to be so annoying. He's so wrong about this. They're so wrong about this. I'm like, okay, nope. That's a terrible, because someone's watching me like that. And I want them to be able to like stick it through and hear me out fully. So that's really what I'm trying to do for both crypto, for politics, for health, for diet and exercise, for everything, everything. So yeah, I am well met. I mean, I'll never be fully well met on this. I'll continue to yap about it forever, but
to which I say,
I will absolutely die on this hill.
That's why we got the soundbite right there, man. Ladies and gentlemen, monsters and machines, people and creatures of all ages, if you're here because you got a crypto question, leave it in the comments. I have been a faithful steward of your comments. I do have one or two of them that I would love to answer for you, and I know Alex would too. So
yeah, hit it.
The question is, which cold wallet do you recommend? Which cold wallet do you recommend? I would say the cold wallet we recommend, we said this earlier about wallets, but the one that is easiest for you to use, that supports the tokens and networks you want to use. Alex, does that thing support XRP?
That's a great question. Let's find out.
I don't think it does. So even though Alex loves his Trezor wallet that he's holding up there, if you are somebody who wants to use the XRP network, it may not be the best choice for you.
Yes,
you may need multiple cold wallets. Does it natively support XRP tokens? Because yes. I have had many reports from people who tell me that it does not.
It does.
Maybe they were just using an old device. Are you
It's on their
Googling or are you
website.
GPTing? It's on their
You know,
website.
Here you go. Here's Trezor's homepage. Native
Fact check yourself, brother.
Native XRP support.
There it is. Safe and secure XRP wallet. Sell and manage your XRP with the Trezor Suite app. Beautiful. See, there you go. We learned today. So the cold wallet really that is best for you is the one that supports the networks and tokens you like, and the one that is easiest for you to use consistently. I use a Ledger. Alex uses a Trezor. I just got a package from Arculus because I saw they were on the TikTok shop. So I decided to get myself an Arculus wallet because that's the card style wallet where it generates a QR code in an app after you tap it to your phone. I have been hesitant to use that kind of wallet because I am frankly nervous I would lose it. And I understand they have an option that allows you to back up a seed phrase. I thought for a long time that they didn't. So stay tuned. I'll compare this to Ledger in a review later today. And somebody asked, I already saw it fly by and I missed it. I'm so sad to say, about if you trade often, do you still use a cold wallet? This is a great question. The fees add up when transferring. I don't personally keep anything I'm actively trading in cold storage because I don't want to have to pay the fees back and forth. A lot of stuff I'm actively trading lives on an exchange like Coinbase because it's often cheapest to trade it there. And often it's easier to use features like limit orders too. And then if I'm holding something for a longer period of time, then I transfer it to a cold storage wallet or at least self-custody because I don't want to, risk it somewhere else. I feel most confident doing that. That's a great question.
Here, let's hit a couple other things. I've seen this comment and actually got this question in Discord too. Someone was asking about buying a Ledger at Best Buy. So first of all, on the website itself for the manufacturer, for the wallet, whether you're talking about Ledger, Arculus, Trezor, whatever, they will list licensed third-party sellers and retailers. Best Buy is a licensed and fully legitimate reseller of Ledger products.
I've bought Ledgers at Best Buy before.
Yeah. Check the website to make sure that the store, that you're looking at, like before you buy one at Radio Shack, or is that still a thing? Of course. But like Best Buy and Amazon have contracts with there's a Ledger store registered on Amazon and you can purchase those products there. Now, of course, you still need to check the tamper-proof packaging and all of these things when you do it. If you feel in any way, shape, or form like squeamish about doing that, you can always just buy from the manufacturer direct. You don't have to use one of these third-party sellers, but I specifically spoke to a friend of mine who works at Ledger on the phone and asked her about this, and she confirmed that yes, in fact, it is a big piece of misinformation that every wallet that you buy from every store is always a scam. Sometimes they are, sometimes they're not. All of these places do have registered third-party sellers, so just double check. You can see it on the website. If the website doesn't list it, then I wouldn't do it. And you can always just default to getting it from the manufacturer themselves. My Arculus wallet I got from the Arculus booth at Consensus last year. They gave me one. It was really easy to set up. I liked it. I thought it was a good interface. I liked the ease of use on mobile. So it kind of gave me the vibe of being like more of a social cold wallet, one that's like a little bit easier to lug around and carry with you and, access the full suite of their software and all that sort of stuff. But I haven't loaded it up and stored a bunch of money there just because the only things I keep in cold storage are Bitcoin, and I have no reason to switch from my Trezor.
Yeah, and Alex, your other Alex in the comments says that they are concerned about physical attacks on a device like that. And I'm not a very technical person, so this is something I need to educate myself on a little more deeply. But I am kind of concerned about that too, because I understand that NFC technology is not terribly secure. Maybe somebody can read the information that's on my card. And I imagine the fine folks at Arculus or any other, maybe Tangem, I think is a card like that. I've got to believe that they know
it's really good. It's quite good. And we could actually get someone from Arculus on. They do social media
we're working on it
all the time. I can email someone from there and ask, because they gave me a full security presentation when I was at Consensus with them last year, and it was pretty good. Actually, I didn't know this, but Arculus is the company that designs the security features for credit cards, the tech that goes into cards that Discover and MasterCard and Visa and all of these American Express, all of them use. the same like piece of tech. Arculus is like the company that works on security for that stuff. It's pretty cool. There was a question.
Two good
about,
questions
like,
here. Oh,
okay,
you go.
Take it. No,
Okay, I'll go
ahead.
quick. If your seed
Go
phrase
ahead,
is
go ahead.
leaked, is the cold wallet not so good anymore? The answer is yes. If your
Correct.
seed phrase is compromised, that means your private key has been compromised. Your seed phrase is a human readable way to find any private keys that your wallet holds. Your wallet may hold many private keys. You get a key pair for every token account you open, and some wallets have other key pairs waiting for you. For example, if you want to trade Bitcoin, you get a public address that people can send to you at that is fine to share with people, and you get a private address. Sometimes these are called keys, public key, private key, and they are those are for your eyes only. If you compromise your Bitcoin private key, your XRP private key is still safe. Your Ethereum private key is still safe. But if you compromise your seed phrase, all of your private keys are linked to it. You have to get a new wallet. You need to, we have videos on this, revoke access to your wallet if you've clicked a bad link or given away permissions. If your wallet's already been drained, just get a new one. Just stop using it and get a new one. And the second question we had was, what is the purpose of a cold storage wallet? The purpose is those private keys, those pieces of information, they are what any blockchain network uses to recognize you as a distinct user. It is a myth that your crypto lives in your wallet. I hate the word wallet. Alex has heard me give this rant a million times. I think the word wallet is one of the worst things we've done in crypto because it makes people think that your crypto physically lives in the device or in the app. But the only place the information that represents your money, cryptocurrency, lives is on a blockchain. And a blockchain itself is just a ledger, like a record of transactions, and it doesn't exist in one place. Many devices around the world, depending on which networks you use, have a copy of this ledger, and they're all updating it. And the amount of people who have a copy, it's growing all the time. That's the only place your money lives. When I send Alex Bitcoin, the network communicates, checks to make sure I have permission, and then they cross one Bitcoin off of my account, and they say, a Bitcoin has been taken from this account and is reassigned to that account. And they are using my address, my key. My private key is the string. It's like a password that authorizes the movement of the information I am entitled to. And what a cold wallet does is it gives you a physical place to store the information that represents your key so that it is offline. It's not on your phone. It's not on a computer that if you get hacked, if somebody's monitoring your internet traffic, we say that kind of wallet would be hot. That would be a hot key because it's exposed to the internet. A cold wallet is just any wallet that stores your private key or keys securely offline and uses something like NFC technology or Bluetooth or good old pen and paper or radio to transmit the information that represents your private key at the time of a transaction. That's why we call it cold. It is the most secure way to store your private key, the information that controls your crypto. But if it's hard for you to use a cold wallet, then it might not be very secure for you. It might be that Coinbase Exchange is easier and better for you than being your own custodian of your own private key. I have made a lot of videos about this lately. So check out the Learn to Use Crypto playlist in my profile for answers to more common questions on that, or if you just need to hear it again. But you know, it's a topic you got to sit with for a second. It's a light bulb moment. Certainly for me, it was a big light bulb moment when I understood, the key, that's what controls my crypto. So
I'm going to rapid fire a bunch of questions because then we do need to wrap it up here. So lots of really good wallet questions. One, why would you pick to use a cold storage wallet if you lose your key, your pass key, you're done? Yes, that is a risk that you assume when you decide that you would like to use cold storage. So why would you take that risk? Kind of like Evan is describing here with, how this all works on a technical level. The purpose of a cold wallet is to make sure that you are the only one who has access to, ownership of, and control of the money that you are protecting with that device. So, example, if I have my checking account with USAA, I am relying on them allowing me to do things with my money every time. I don't own it. I am permitted to use it through their platform and through their software. But I have to jump through a lot of hoops to do that. And if they see something they don't like, they can stop me. So for example, a couple weeks ago when I was trying to spend money through MoonPay to buy USDC directly from my checking account, they flagged it as a fraudulent transaction. And even though I said it was me, even though I clicked the little thing and was like, yep, I approve, they were like, nah, we don't like it. And they canceled it. So I don't personally enjoy the idea of someone else getting to own my money and me not be able to do what I want with it when I want to. So that's kind of the bonus of cold storage. I am willing to assume responsibility for my passphrase to take that risk, to be able to do whatever I want with it whenever I want. Now, nothing on earth, not a single thing in anything is 100% perfect, risk-free, safe, unbreakable, whatever. But there are degrees of protection. There's degrees of safety. And in crypto, a cold storage device from one of these big reputable brands that's been doing it for a while is about as safe as it gets. So you are exactly correct. You do assume a risk when you custody with cold storage because you have to keep track of your information. And if you lose it, you're screwed. There's no forgot password option.
And that's because they don't have a copy of your key. Those are generated on your device or in your app. This is true for hot wallets too. Ledger doesn't have a copy of that. You can opt into a recovery service that allows you to encrypt and break up your key, but it's a misinformation that Ledger or anybody else can see your private key.
But if you do not opt into it, there is still no key sharing. It's not like they keep it and then if you opt in, they're like, okay, we're definitely going to keep it. You opt out, they like delete it. If you opt in, you would have to then share it with them. It would happen through the opt-in program.
Right. And even that, it's not like sharing it with, it's like you encrypt it on your device, break it into 3 pieces and hand them one of these encrypted pieces that they can't unencrypt. It's a one-way thing. It's totally fine.
Yeah. There was a lot of misinformation about the Ledger Recover system when they did it. The last question I'm going to hit here, and then if you guys want to go further into wallet stuff, please just toss a question. We should have there should be a running forum post just about like wallet safety, wallet practice, and like basic wallet how-tos. But the question is, how, what's the process for sending money to and from, or sending your crypto to and from your cold wallet? And what if you need to cash out? And, what's the process there? I think there's been a lot of, I wouldn't say misinformation, but a lot of like scaring people about how wallets work and the process. If I wanted to send my Bitcoin to my Trezor, it's as simple as, well, I have my Trezor wallet address saved. So I would just, send it to that address, but it's the same as sending it to Evan or sending it to my MetaMask or sending it to my Coinbase. I am, on my side, I'm in one wallet where the crypto is currently living, whether that's my Coinbase account or my MetaMask or my Phantom or whatever it happens to be. And I type in, the address I'd like to send it to, and I hit send, and I do the transaction as normal, and it sends. And this time it just happened to send to a wallet that's a cold storage device. If I'm like, oh, well, Bitcoin just doubled in price, I'd like to sell it, I just open up my cold storage device. Most of these things work pretty similarly. You plug it into your laptop or sometimes they have a phone interface. You log in and there you are, and you're looking at your dashboard and you see the keys that are sitting there, and you're like, okay, well, I would like to send it. Type in the wallet address you want to send it to and hit send, and off it goes. It might be slightly longer because like the only thing that would take me any longer than doing it on my hot wallet here is I'd have to take the device out of my drawer and plug it in and open the Trezor Suite software package and then type in the answer. So it adds, maybe a minute or two. But it's really not as complex as people say that it is.
It's like sending an email.
It's like sending an email. You just really got to make sure that you are sending it to the right place, so double, triple check those addresses, check them character by character to make sure you're sending it to the right place. If you're copy pasting, still double check. There are software exploits where, when you go to Control V, when you paste something, it can be pasting something different. So you just always double check the addresses that you're sending it to. If you're nervous, send a test transaction, send a couple bucks over first, and do it that way. I think, Evan, it would be worth it to do a long form like YouTube video where we like, it's probably going to end up being, like 20, 25 minutes, but just
maybe longer, honestly.
Take a bunch of wallets, and just simulate transactions. Like you and I could just screen share back and forth and set up a couple, hot wallet accounts and just like send some USDC back and forth to show like approvals for transactions. And then like we can even do, you've got a Ledger, I've got a Trezor, we both got an Arculus now, like open up and simulate some cold wallet transactions, all that sort of stuff, and just kind of demystify it.
Yeah, I think and answer common questions, that would be good. Okay, I know you got to take your dog and pony on the road, so I'm glad to just wrap the show up. But give us a final thought. What's your last joke, word of wisdom, complaint before you ride your dog and pony off into the sunset?
Sorry.
Come on, man.
I encourage you. You certainly do not have to use Ledger if you don't want to, but I truly, truly encourage you to at least read about how the Recover program actually works. And I would discourage you from posting things that you're not confident about, especially because if you do too much posting on social media about Ledger stealing people's keys and doing whatever, that's defamation material. So you're gonna want to be careful with that one. But no, I'm well met. Good kickoff. It's gonna be a good week. Next week, obviously, is gonna be a little bit sketchy because we will be traveling. So bear with us. Stay tuned. We'll definitely be doing some stuff from Denver and some live streams. I think we're gonna meet up with Charlie over there one of these days. I'm gonna try to bully him into a live stream in person. And I'll see you guys in Discord. Be objective. Read things that you disagree with that make you uncomfortable, and force yourself to support your own convictions.
Well said. Be safe. I'm gonna wrap up 2 or 3 lingering questions here because I just don't want to lose them because they're folks I know will. You'll be in the Discord, but we'll see you there. Yeah.
Yep, I will be there.
Beautiful. And that is my way of saying I will wrap it up soon too. So if you don't have the link, if you don't have the screenshot, definitely make sure you jump in the Discord server. It is the best place. A lot of people DM me, DM Alex, leave us comments. Wait, just answer one more question. The absolute best way to make sure you get your question answered is to visit discord.gg/riseup. It's kind of weird here on the TikTok screen now that Alex has left, so I'll pop it down. But it's the home for the Rise Up Morning Show, even when we're not live here. So a couple of quick last minute questions. Earthy Hen asked about limit orders. Does it make sense to move my crypto back to an exchange if I want to sell it, if I need to set a limit order? And when is a good time to do that? I would say if you are actively trading something such that you might want to sell it sometime soon, or you're just not sure, you kind of got your finger on the trigger and you're watching, or you'd like to have a limit order, you should put that on an exchange. Don't put that in your cold storage wallet unless you just really don't trust the exchange. I trust my exchange enough to, if I'm going to actively trade something like that to the point that I might want to buy it or sell it sometime soon, it's on an exchange account. I don't think it's necessarily a cause for concern. I saw a couple other ones that I wanted to get to. Seed phrases, 12 words or 24 words. Is one more secure than the other? No, not necessarily. By nature, a 24-word seed phrase is harder to crack because there are more options. But a 12-word seed phrase, though it is technically less secure, is still so robust, it would be very difficult for somebody to brute force it. So don't let your choice of wallet come down to, I really like this wallet, but it's only got a 12-word seed phrase. I would say for most people, that's going to be sufficient, especially if you like the user experience, you find it's easier to use consistently and well, then that's the wallet you should choose to use. That's the most important thing when you're thinking about a wallet, is which one is the easiest for me to use. Amsfar has a contrary take, says no more than $1,000 on an exchange. I think that's fine. I think if you feel like that, that's what's most important. You got to have a solution that works for you. You're going to hear many people in crypto talk about do this, do this, do this, but there's almost always nuance, and there's never any such thing as like, this is the best investment, just the best investment for you, the best tool for you. It's like a knife or a gun you take to the wilderness. A lot of people think they want to take a bazooka because it's the most powerful. But the truth is, most people will have a hard time using that to achieve their goal of hunting an animal, like not the best tool. Suit the action to the deed. the tool to the job, that kind of thing. I wanted to answer one more question about gas prices. Sometimes when you interact with a blockchain, you may be surprised to encounter a fee. It'll say network fee or gas fee or something like that in order to move your crypto to another wallet, in order to buy or sell it. And this is not a cause for concern fee. This fee is part of doing business on a blockchain. Gas fees and network fees are the fees paid to the individuals whose machines do the business of processing transactions and validating transactions for the network. It's not an extractive fee like the profit margin at your grocery store or your wireless company. It is a fee based on how congested the network is and how much energy it takes to do the kind of transacting you want to do. If you want to learn more about this, just look up gas fees. And it's important to understand that just as there are different cities around the world that might have different taxes, there are different cryptocurrency networks where you might pay higher or lower gas fees to do the same thing. The most notoriously expensive network is the Ethereum mainnet. And I think the person asking this question was trading a token called Wall Street Pepe that sounded like it was a token on the Ethereum network because they said there was a $67 network fee to sell it. If that's you, spend some time Googling gas fees. And I also recommend you look up a tool like cryptocurrencyalerting.com. Cryptocurrencyalerting.com is a free tool that you can use to set price alerts when network fees or gas prices are below a certain threshold. When it's, $1 to send a transaction instead of $100. Fun fact, a couple years ago, before Ethereum became a proof of stake network, meaning how they validated transactions, it required a lot more energy and the network would get so congested. There was an NFT release I was a part of one time that the gas fees were more than the cost of the token. And at one point were several thousands of dollars. People were paying. And because it was busy and the network was congested, the transactions were failing and you can't get that network fee back. So people would pay thousands of dollars on a transaction that didn't go through. Can you believe it? Hopefully we're past those days now, but still gas fees are a nuisance. Not something to be concerned about. You can learn how to avoid them. And I have some videos about that too. And I will say, if you need the replay of this, then you can catch it on our YouTube, our Facebook, our Twitter, our LinkedIn. I would love your help in following those channels to help us reach people who watch us there, because you guys are the best part of what we do. And we want to be anywhere that folks might have a question about cryptocurrency. They can encounter us and come and join the community and hang out and learn. You can find all the links to all our socials at theriseupmorningshow.com. That's the link in my bio. And that's also where you can find the Discord server link. You can find recordings of past classes we've done for just a couple of bucks. You can buy a Rise Up Morning Show mug. You can sign up for a free trial premium membership. And if you have been one of the people, I see people say, how do I get time with you? How can I spend time with you or Alex? You can book time with us there. We got a calendar that in about 2 minutes and a couple of clicks, you can book a slot that I'm on the other end of, and we can talk about whatever crypto question you have. You want help setting up your ledger? No problem. You want to launch a token for your company and need to get in touch with a lawyer who can help? No problem. If you've got a question about it, even if we can't solve it, we've probably got some smart friends who can help you do it. So definitely check that out, and don't feel like you need to spend $1 with us to join the free Discord community and keep learning. So thank you very much. I really appreciate you guys. We had a good conversation today. Alex had to get a lot off his chest. You were very patient with him, and we all can be more patient as we engage with people who look and learn and live and think differently than us. You know how I feel about it. I love you all. I'm grateful to you. Thank you so much for being the best part of what we do. Like Tech CEO says, buy the mug and then buy the dip, my friends. Everybody be safe. Stay well. Until tomorrow.